I think the amount of tickets that they sold, I don't think there's going to be an angle in that place the camera's going to be where you ain't going to see a crowd,
Yeah,
right?
you're right.
So I think it's just going to be fucking absolutely nuts. So yeah, fire hall may be there counting heads to make sure we're not over capacity for the building, but it's going to be a good time, that's for sure. So
Yeah, I wanted to talk with you about some matches to try to predict something.
mhm.
I predicted matches with Ray, and I don't know, you probably didn't saw the video, but Ray wanted to piss you off a little, and he said that he thinks Lars is gonna win.
I don't know. I think Lars. I think Lars. Just to piss Matt off.
So just so you know, when you see Ray, so
Yeah, me and Ray will go nose to nipples when I see him next.
and let's start with Ray's match. What do you think?
Ray, I think, is going to get his ass fucking handed to him. Doesn't stand a fucking chance. So, yeah. No, I predicted Ray to win this one. Ballinger has, I believe he's pulling
Yeah,
Ballinger, isn't he? Yeah,
yeah.
Ballinger, really strong hand, really strong wrist. I don't quite know if he's gone to table IQ that Ray does.
Mm.
Ray is able to pull at different angles. I think that Ballinger's probably going to come out of the gates really hot, take the first one, possibly the first two, and then Ray's going to kind of do his thing and start dissecting. And I think it's going to be 3-2 for Ray. So
Yeah, Ray started training seriously again. He also says that he doesn't have the shoulder pain he had, and the mobility is better, and he's doing like massages and stuff. So I think he's ready, and he also wants to get a shot, maybe in the top 10 in the future. So he will for sure do everything to win that match. Travis, losing his last match, not even being able to go to straps. A lot of people writing him off. Okay, this is a left arm match, but I still wanted to talk with you about that match. You think he made some technical mistakes, so he couldn't show his level, or you think that he just didn't stand a chance?
I don't think Travis's right arm is anywhere near his left,
Mm-hmm.
personally, myself. Travis has always been way more connected, way less injuries, way more fluent, way better hit, way more crafty with his left than he has been with his right. So I think that yeah, like I honestly, it all depends on what Travis Bagent shows up. And I think if Corey West is able to stop his hit and not get manipulated as much in the setup as Travis wants to get, I think Corey has a chance. I think he has a really, really good chance. So, but it honestly all depends on how Travis shows up. Travis is the type of guy that can go in, arm wrestle somebody that's 4 times his strength as him,
Yeah.
but just with how finesseful, how quick he is, how crisp his hit is, and how fluent his motion is, that the guy's at the pad before he even has a chance to really realize that the match has started, right?
Yeah.
So that actually could end up being the case with this one. Corey just doesn't feel comfortable in the setup, and every time they say go, Travis just flashes through him, and Corey just doesn't have a chance to even connect to anything, right? So
Yeah.
and
Like in the
that's a
last match
very
in
good
challenges.
possibility. So just like how when he pulled Derek Smith,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
thing. Derek didn't even stand a chance,
Yeah.
you know, and I think Derek stopped him, it might have been a match, but it was just the fluent motion, and there was no chance for Derek to even get anything engaged, right?
Mhm.
So
I'm eager to see that match. I'm eager to see it, and then after that, potentially see Travis pulling somebody from the top 10 in the super heavyweight division and on the left arm. That would be also interesting to see. Like you say, I mean, he was all his career, he was better on the left, but he conquered the world with the right and the left, and people expected him to do it again. But yeah, we will see. We will see. Janis coming back to the States, pulling Bishop again. How do you see that match? You see Janis.
uh that one I'm 50-50 on that one. I'm not 100% sure what's going to happen. They have pulled in the past. Bishop did get the upper hand on him before. Janis is Janis, right? Janis has been active as fuck for the last 10 years. Bishop has been off and on. Janis, I don't think ever stops training. He trains for a living. So he's always, I think he's always feeling good. And the amount of table knowledge that Janis has is, I believe, far beyond 99.999% of the arm wrestlers that are out there.
Yeah.
But Bishop again too, if Bishop gets the connection that he needs and he's feeling good, he doesn't have any shoulder injuries, his elbows are feeling 100%, it's going to be a fucking war. So like Bishop, when Bishop's on, that motherfucker is on. So it's, always love watching him. So
Yeah, man. And he's
so
he's a
I
character
honestly,
also.
I can't really predict this one. So
in the next match with your opponent from past two East versus West, Frank pulling Dave Chafee. Dave 30 pounds heavier, I think. 20, 30 pounds heavier. And what do you think how this match will go? You think that if Frank posts and does his thing, the side pressure will be too open for Dave, or what do you think? You think
I
he
think
takes Dave's wrist?
if Dave's neck is not fucked up, I think if Dave can come in 85% or better, Dave is going to have too much power. Even now, Dave gets his hand taken, he can still drive into a flop from there, right? So we've seen him engage his shoulder, get in behind his arm. I was able to stall Frankie when he had taken my hand, and I don't have a good fucking press. I would imagine Dave Chafee's press is about 4 times more effective than mine. So I don't see Dave losing this one unless he's really not feeling healthy right now. So
Michael Todd, I think, with the biggest challenge yet for him against Kamil. We don't know how strong Kamil is on the right arm, but I saw him competing last year in Croatia, and he pretty much looked the same on left and right with his move with the press. What do you think? Can Michael be faster?
it's hard to say, really hard to say, because for some reason I was thinking Kamil pulling the left arm, I think, when I gave this prediction with Engen the other day. But it's really hard to say. I don't know if Michael's going to have the speed that Kamil will have. I think Kamil will be faster than Michael. If Michael can come across and engage him the way that Kamil was able to control Devon, the way he was in the setup and everything else, be able to come in even when Devon was crowding him and he was still able to drive it. If he's able to do that with his right the way he is with his left, I think it could be very tough for Michael. But then again, we've also seen Michael pull Jerry in those positions where he's hanging out down here for a while. So I don't know. It's a really interesting match. So and we're not really 100% sure exactly where Michael is right now. Michael looked phenomenal against Lars, right? So, but it's I don't know. I'm interested to see in this one though, for sure. And I'm back and forth, constantly back and forth with it. So I'm kind of leaning to Kamil, but just because of the speed that he has, I feel he's a lot more explosive than Jerry is. So I think he may be able to get 1 or 2 bang, right quick, right off the pop. But then we're going to start to see Michael adjust, do some things. So I don't know. I say 51% Kamil, 49 Mike.
I think the difference between Jerry's and Kamil's press is, I think Kamil is number one a little bit longer, and I think his down pressure, because Jerry is more like he can press from here also. Kamil has to be behind his arm to press, and I think that's why the down pressure is bigger and stronger for him. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm eager to see if Michael will try. I mean, he will try for sure to go first round to press himself. But
Yeah.
I don't think you think he can stop him outside, because Michael is hitting some big numbers in the training lately.
Well, he's also gaining a lot of weight again too, right? So
Yeah.
apparently he's going to be coming in this match 285, 290-ish. So it's really interesting to see, right? We might actually see maybe the old Michael Todd back, right, after his surgery, everything else. So who knows? This will definitely be a good test for him to actually see exactly where he's at. So
If he stops him outside and gets his shoulder behind and presses him, that would be very impressive. I think that would be
100%, yeah.
very impressive. Next match, Paul Linn against Rustam. Paul looking very good, but Rustam, I think his last match was against Irakli at East vs West 10.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. And now coming back, pulling Paul. You think Paul will be much stronger and power it out, or you think it will be a war?
I think it's going to be a war regardless. Both of them are going in the same direction. Both are going inside. So I think it's going to be a war. I just feel Paul Lynn's dedication and his trajectory and how quick he's been progressing over the last few years. He's consistently doing this the whole time. And I don't think Babayev has really gotten any better than he was 4 or 5 years ago. So I think it's going to be a war, but I think this one's going to be going to Paul Linn. I think Paul Lynn's going to be taking this one in a pretty good fashion, 3-1 for Paul Linn.
Closing in on the top 3 matches of the card, starting with the best actor at East vs West in arm wrestling today, Evgeny Prudnik facing Todd Hutchings in the rematch. Last time, Prudnik got his number, dominated the match.
Yeah, I made it look very easy.
But
So,
Prudnik also losing his last couple matches. Didn't I expected him to win against Irakli, but he had a hard time. Irakli is also progressing like crazy. What Levan is also saying.
Irakli's another dude that's just consistently hitting that next level each time, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So.
And he's not stopping. He's getting better and better and
Same
better.
with Brzenk. There's another motherfucker that just keeps continuing to progress. We don't even know where his limit is.
Getting back to the main match with Prudnik and Todd Hutchings, you think if Prudnik is not 100%, you think Todd Hutchings can do something? Can pull the win off? Or
I think you're going to see a different Todd this time than when he pulled Prudnik last time. Todd's the type of person where if he gets beat and out angled in a certain way, he goes back and he dissects the hell out of it and trains his ass off for it. So I think what Prudnik did last time probably won't work for Todd this time. We'll see what kind of shape Prudnik actually comes in. Like if Prudnik comes in looking like he's ready, it could be very, very interesting, right? But I think Todd's going to be coming in with something different this time, and I think Todd is going to be coming out on top of this goal. I don't think we're starting to see Todd top roll and everything else since that last match. Like he's pulling in different angles. We might see Todd hit him with a top roll in order to cock block and preventing him from scooping him in, and then being able to transition through a side pressure, right? So who knows? I think I think it's going to be interesting, and I don't think it's going to go anything remotely close like it did the last time.
This match excites me because of one reason and one reason only. where is the level of Leonidas? And if John, because honestly, I think John will take his hand. He took Irakli's hand. Why wouldn't he take Leonidas' hand? And I think if John takes his hand and not messes around and tries to go and hook with him and tests himself like he does every time, John can win that match. But if it goes too long, what do you think? I mean, I don't know.
I think John's going to take this. I think John's experience is way too much for Leonidas. I think Leonidas is probably the stronger person, but I think that John has a stronger hand and a stronger wrist, and that's where they're connected. So I personally kind of think this is a mismatch for Leonidas. So, and I think John is gonna school him. And it's too bad. I love Leonidas, fucking such an awesome dude. Got to hang out with him in Toronto with Devon and that for a bit. Such a great fucking guy. I'd love to see him make a match out of it. I just personally don't think he will. We'll see. We'll see what'll happen. He might fucking surprise the hell out of me. So
Maybe, yeah, man.
but
Because a lot of people are talking about the weights he's doing, and he's doing this and he's doing that, but Voivoda was also doing crazy weights before the match with
yeah.
John, and we saw what happened, So, and this is
Yeah.
Voivoda, this is a guy who was the king of the sport.
Well,
So,
and yeah, Viabold also had 20 years experience, right?
yeah.
Leonidas only has a year or two experience, and he hasn't really concentrated a whole lot, I believe, on arm wrestling. I know 90% of what he's doing is all about his weights and his powerlifting, and he just kind of arm wrestles a little bit here and there in between, right? So he hasn't really made it as much a priority to try to figure out the angles, the motions, spots where he's comfortable. So I just don't see it. I don't see somebody coming in with a couple years experience being able to do anything with John. So
I didn't think like that, but I think you're right, man. I think you're right. Because also Leonidas in Germany, I don't know how much people he has in the super heavyweight division who can really give him a good training to get in all the positions he can get on the table in the
yeah.
losing position and in the winning
And
position.
he's so used to just being the strong, powerful guy. He's lacking in some finesseness, getting to his positions, then powering through it. He's just kind of right, so it's like, separates his shoulders, hands outside of his shoulder a bit, but he's so strong and powerful, he's able to kind of keep everything in, right? But you get somebody like John that's strong and powerful and knows how to work all those different angles, right? He's like a bolt of electricity, and he's going to find the easiest, quickest route around and through his hands. So it's,
I don't know if John and Leonidas are the main event or Kurdecha and Jerry, but the last match, Jerry and Kurdecha, interesting match to see also Jerry being back now after the loss to Hermes, which we know that he is probably number 2 or number 3 in the world right now. So and also seeing Kurdecha now testing himself against Jerry. I think if Jerry beats Kurdecha, he has. If the rankings doesn't say that, but I think if Jerry beats Kurdecha, he gains something more than if Kurdecha beats Jerry, because nobody's pulling like Jerry. You think so, or
yeah.
and who you got?
I think it puts either one of them in a good position, whether like don't matter which one of them win. I think it puts them both in a good position. I feel Kurdecha, from majority of the people I've seen, he has upped the fuck out of his game big time lately. His last match he had against Artem, it was left arm match, but just the angles that he was able to pull in, the way he was bouncing all around the table, like he's not just a top roller anymore. He's got a press, he's got so much other things involved with him now. If he's able to do the same transitioning that he is with his left arm as he is with his right, And I don't think that he hasn't been studying Jerry. I think
Yeah.
he's been watching the Hermes matches. He's been watching other people in the past, how they've beaten Jerry, what they've done to him. I think that Alex has really probably started to up his game for it. And there is a way, I feel, that is easier lane to be able to pull Jerry. Alex with his left, you're able to see him top roll and then transition into a press. If he is able to do that with his right and has just as much power with his right as he does with his left right now, I think that it could be a bad day for Jerry, actually. But if Kurdecha still pulls the same way he did with his right 2 years ago, 3 years ago, just staying up, dropping down, and kind of, getting his ass and everything below the table, not staying up on top of it where he can transition to the press like we were able to see him do more with his left arm, then I think it's going to be a long day for Alex. So, because once Jerry gets in behind, if you're opened up at all in any way, you're not protecting it with your shoulder, I think that, it's going to be bad. So, because he'll end up opening him up, and I don't think he'll be able to have enough to get through it. There's positions when you're in there you need to start working through, and he's always kind of been more of a drag back puller with his right. So we'll see if he's made the same transition and progress with his right as he did with his left. So that'll be the telltale right there, I think. As for biomechanics and everything else to do it, they don't get much bigger than fucking Alex, so they don't, right? Like he is designed to fucking grab arms and smash them to the fucking pad. So if he continues to progress the way he is, like he has been with his left, then I think all the super heavyweights are in a lot of fucking trouble. So,
but the only footage we have from Alex recently is his pull with Devon. And
well, no, he pulled what's his name there, Georgie, in the right
yeah,
arm.
man, yeah, but
Georgie was slightly
yeah.
injured. We don't know where Georgie was at the time. Like Alex was able to make pretty quick work of it.
Yeah.
So if he's continued to train the way he is, then and Alex needs to be able to have a press to finish. He
But
can top roll and get him separated from his shoulder, but he needs to be able to roll him behind and get on top of it and drive him straight down with Jerry's hand facing to the roof, and he'll be able to do it that way. But he needs to have developed a press from a top roll.
he tried that with Devon in the practice poll, and he couldn't press. But Devon also posed different than Jerry, of course. But
Yeah.
he went down and he tried and he tried to stand up, and Devon pushed him out, and then so that was what was in my mind while you're talking about his transition. You don't think he will try something that Hermes did to hook him and like straight side pressure him?
It's hard to say, right? He might. So it's like this. I mean, it depends on how much studying he's done and where he's gone with it, right? So
Yeah,
I do believe he does need to crowd his arm with his shoulder a lot more, almost coming forward. But you're also susceptible of getting sucked into a hook with Jerry as well, right? So who knows where Alex's hook is with his right. So August 10th, Florida. You can't get tickets now because they're fucking sold out. But if you ain't, get the fucking pay-per-view because you're not going to want to miss this fucking show.